What's up guys, welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Whether you've never played Wiz before or you're a returning player, this video is for you, because we're going to be going over whether Wizard101 is still worth playing in 2025. So the short answer to this question is yes, but stick around if you're not quite convinced yet, because I'll be sharing my own personal reasonings for playing Wizard101 and how I think it holds up as a game in 2025 and for the foreseeable future. So if you've never played Wizard101 before, don't worry, because I'll explain to you exactly what Wizard101 is. Wizard101 is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, or MMORPG for short, where you assume the role of a young wizard and work to save the spiral from a multitude of threats in the form of villains or dark forces throughout the different worlds of the game. At the start of the game, you pick your school of magic, either fire, ice, storm, life, death, or balance, which all will have a relatively big impact on your playthrough and combat depending on which school you pick. The combat revolves around a turn-based card game system where you build a deck of spells and you use a certain amount of energy to cast each spell. These spells can deal damage, heal, summon minions to fight alongside you, and much more. So think like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or any card game in terms of combat mixed with like Honkai's Star Rail or Persona. Although Wiz is really one of a kind and it's not too similar to any game that I know of, so there's really nothing to like accurately compare it to. Once you pick your school and customize your avatar, you'll be thrust into the universe of the Spiral, where from then on you'll go to many different worlds, each of them with their own quests, storylines, and enemies. Since Wiz is an MMORPG, the entire game takes place on a single server with hundreds of players all in the same realms as you at the same time. You can team up with other players to fight enemies, add people as friends, fight in the PvP arena, or form guilds with other players. And if you're someone who likes customization in your games, don't worry, because there is a lot of customization. From the moment you make your character, you'll customize it down to the name. And from then on, there's a lot of other things you can do to customize your character in-game when it comes to your outfits, your weapons, and much more. So with that out of the way, let's get into why I think Wizard101 is worth playing in 2025. To any new players watching this, I'll bet that you got sucked into the world of Wizard101 because of the console release, and I know I did too. So as such, I think it's important to address the console release, since I think it was a huge reason why many people even found Wizard101 to begin with. Wizard101 was a game originally released on PC back in 2008, and recently it has been ported onto console for both Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. The Wizard101 console release brought so many new players to the game, myself included. And I think there's a couple reasons for that, and also I think there's a couple reasons why Wizard101 Console Edition breathes new life into the game. So before Console Edition released, many people kind of were not too sure about the future of Wizard101 and how well it would continue to do in the forthcoming years. I feel like it was kind of an up in the air debate on whether the longevity of this game would really last for many more years. But with the release of Console Edition, it absolutely blew away everyone's expectations to proportions just completely unimaginable. It brought hundreds of new players into the game, and for the first time in many years, Wizard101 was like genuinely a very, very, very active game, with realms being completely full upon the release of Console Edition. And this spike of players is the reason why I'm even deciding to make this video, and it's kind of the inspiration for my entire channel. I personally found Wizard101 through the console release, and my first character ever made was on console before I decided to switch to PC. And since I'm a new player, I wanted to make my channel to kind of guide other new players so we can all get through this game together. So anyways, the reason why I bring up console edition is because, like I said, I think it breathes a new life into this game. And if you're new, console could be a very good place to start because everyone else is relatively fresh as well. Since console is technically on a different server from PC, everyone on console edition had to fully restart their character and their entire game. The console and PC versions are completely separate from one another, so any progress can't be transferred from one edition to the other. But I think this can be a really good thing, because for many people on many different games, it can be overwhelming being so far behind. Especially for a game released in 2008, it can feel like you're 15 years behind everyone else. But with the release of console edition, you're now no longer behind everyone else anymore. In fact, you're actually pretty much on the same pace as them. Everyone's starting fresh and everyone is pretty much at the same point in the game. So I think console could be a really, really, really good opportunity for you to start playing the game if you've been considering it. And you could also, of course, pick it up on PC because the PC version is still very, very active. And I think the console release really lengthens the longevity of the game. Since it was so booming and did so well, I feel like the console release really ensures that Wiz will be around for many more years. So I think there's really never been a better time than now to start picking up the game and getting into it if you've been wanting to. Many people are playing this game both on console and on PC, and the game is absolutely booming, and I think it's doing better than it's really ever been doing in the past 10 years. The community for Wizard101 is definitely an interesting one. As someone who's been engaging with the community quite a bit for the past few months, I can say for the most part the Wiz community is a nice little corner of the internet. There are many, many, many content creators and Wiz content to watch, whether you're interested in PvP, PvE, or even guides. You'll almost certainly find at least one content creator that you'll love watching with a big fan base and tons of like-minded people who are interested in the same things as you. And outside of content creation, there are hundreds of people online who can help you if you're struggling on questing or pet hatching or even just needing reagents. For example, there's tons of people on the Wizard101 forums, there's an entire subreddit dedicated to Wizard101, and of course the official Discord server for Wizard101. However, the Discord is sometimes a bit of a weird place, so just fair warning. However, weirdness aside, there are so many people all over every corner of the internet who play Wizard101 and would be willing to help you with anything that you need. There's plenty of guides online for pretty much every aspect of the entire game, and there's many veterans of the game who have been playing since they were 6 years old who can help you on anything that you're having troubles with. And I think it's also important to mention that this community is not very toxic. I think a majority of the people who play Wizard101 are pretty normal. I think the only place I've ever really seen a lot of toxicity is probably in the deep depths of the PvP community. But I mean, that's kind of to be expected because most competitive subsections of games for any game are just full of toxic ass people. But outside of PvP, every person I've ever interacted with in regards to Wizard101 has been a very normal and pretty decent person. And most people in the community are just casual players who love this game and want to share it with as many people as possible and would be more than happy to help you progress through the game. And like I mentioned in my last point, with the release of console, so many people are just starting out their first playthrough of Wizard101. So it kind of breaks that exclusivity barrier, so it feels more like you can just integrate yourself into part of the community instead of feeling like an outcast who's 15 years behind. There are so many people on the exact same pace as you, and I bet there's literally hundreds of people on the exact same quest as you, which I think is a huge plus and a big reason why you should start playing Wizard101 today. So yeah, you'll find so many people who are also new to the game who you can play with, and there's a lot of old heads in the community. I would say that the community is mostly made up of old heads who've been playing since they were literally newborns, who can help you on questing or whatever you need help with. The last reason why I think you should play Wizard101 is because it's just an amazing game. Wizard101 has so many years of content and community built around it. It's one of those games that you can really pick up at any time and just sink so many hours into it without getting bored or stuck behind energy walls or paywalls, outside of the first and only paywall of membership. You'll have what feels like infinite content to clear. Wizard101 is a game that was released in 2008, and thus has had a surplus of content released in those years, much more content still being released to this day. Just questing through this game alone takes up like 150 hours if you want to start from level 0 to level 180. And that's not including all the side content that you can do, like gear farming or gardening or pet training. So altogether, at the cost of like $10 a month, you can experience like infinite content. You'll also never need to buy anything outside of the $10 a month subscription to unlock the full story. Any packs or cosmetic items in the crown shop are never necessary to buy, and you never need to buy a single dollar worth of crowns. While Wizard101 does have some aspects of gacha mechanics in it, Wiz is not a gacha game, and all of that is just completely optional. You'll never have to spend $1 getting any mount or opening any packs. You can play the base game with all content included for just $10 a month. But beyond game mechanics, I think Wizard101 is just a very, very fun game. And I feel like there really is something for everyone in Wiz. If you want to kick back and play casually, you absolutely can. If you're the type who likes to grind for the best gear sets for hours, you can do that. And if you don't want to grind for any gear at all, you can completely skip it. If you're someone more competitive, there's an entire active PvP arena open to you. And if you're someone who prefers PvE, there are so many challenges within the game for you to attempt. A lot of it is also community made or player made challenges, just completely made to enhance your difficulty experience in Wizard101. So all of that is just to say that Wiz is really a game for everyone. There's content that pretty much anyone can enjoy if you just give it a shot. So, do I think Wizard101 is still a game worth playing in 2025? The answer is absolutely. In fact, I believe there's no better time than now to fully immerse yourself into the world of Wizard101 and all it has to offer. Wizard101 is such a unique game that provides such a unique experience compared to any other game in the MMORPG genre. It's such a charming game with so much to do, and if you were considering playing, I think this should be your sign to make an account and have fun. And to top it all off, Wizard101 is having free membership right now, so really there's no reason not to play. With that said, thanks so much for watching, and I hope this convinced you to go play Wizard101.